Praise Jesus.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
The preacher in me is speaking.
Yes.
The preacher in me is speaking. Let us start off with a word of prayer. Mighty Heavenly Father, in the mighty name of the Lord Jesus Christ, I'm grateful yet another wonderful opportunity given unto us to testify of your goodness, to testify of your faithfulness, of God, upon our life, of God. Let the Father for the last season upon sharing with us about the God of this gospel. It's all to the glory and honor of your name, and this is our faith of your faith in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
So, Nicholas, let's tell us,
Yes.
where did you school?
I schooled. Well, first of all, my name is Nicholas Mwangi Ngugi. I schooled at Njiiri School. Njiiri School, yes. So we used to be offended when the school was somebody just said Njiiri High School, so it was just Njiiri School. Yes, so Njiiri School is where I yes.
You have people who are silent and don't want to be offended by men.
Yes, it was an offense for us to have high or secondary. Secondary was even worse. Yes.
Was it your dream school?
Not really, but I think my dream school was Nakuru High School. Nakuru High School. But it just happened like the trail of all my previous friends walikuwa wanaenda huko, so Njiiri School every year ni Njiiri School, so the best person used to go to Njiiri School at best, at least by my ear. So yeah, I don't like common things, so I did not like Njiiri School because many people used to go there from my village.
It seems you're a product of your village. How do you feel that you got to go to a high school from the village? People celebrate you and tell you congrats.
Yes, of course. It was amazing. It was like of course some people expected more because of maybe how my performance was in class 8 or in previous years, but at the same time it was a joy for me, and at the same time it was a shock because I was not really seeing like I could get to that high school because of the prevailing circumstances then, especially financial. But God, but God, yes.
Open for you a door that no man can close.
Mm. I
So,
actually,
was it
yes,
easy?
yes.
You may continue.
Pardon?
You may continue.
Uh,
You
okay.
may continue with what you are saying.
Yes, I'm saying it was not easy at first because yes, my performance was good, but I had those financial challenges. I never knew I could not see myself going to that school. At the same time, people are encouraging me to just do another year in class 8, and then, but I was not of that option. Yeah, so by God's grace, I just found myself at Njiiri School. Yes, just found myself. God took me there. No other explanation.
Amen, amen. That's a beautiful story. And maybe think about God taking us
Yes.
somewhere that is going to keep us there. God takes
Mm,
me from A to B, He's going to sustain me in B. And so, the same way I was trusting Him as He was moving me from A to B, that's how I'm going to
mm,
trust Him when I am in B. I should not
yes.
interfere with it.
Mm, yeah.
So, which was apart from the financial challenge, how
Mhm.
did you find being a Form 1 in that school? Was it fun? Were you like looking for yourself? Like were you sitting alone, eating alone, walking alone?
Yes, it was. I had a culture shock somehow. Actually, the first day I got into school, I got later, I think 1 week later, after all the others had joined, had been admitted.
Yeah.
So the day I went there, I was in Form 1L. So I just got in and no introduction or something. So I found a big guy, a fellow student, but at that time I thought it was a teacher. So he welcomed me, and even by the time I was sitting, I was still thinking that it was the teacher, but it just happened that he had a raincoat on because the school was in a very cold place and a very rainy place. So I thought he was a teacher, but he just welcomed me. So yes, from there I had a challenge, as you know, you personally know that I have a challenge in making new friends by my own. So yes, but I tried. I struggled. I survived through the cold, through the new friends. Through, by the way, I think my school was just another school full of big people and daring people. They used to scare me a lot, by the way. Yes. Mm.
So, oh, you said that person you thought it was a teacher, it was a student.
Yes, actually, he's now an artist. You can search him on social media platforms as uh, Ricky Gadariki, something or something like that. He's an artist in music, in theater performances. Yeah, if you even now, he's just still a big guy.
And you are
Yeah.
still a small guy.
Yes, but at least I'm improving.
When you get married, you shall improve even more.
Yes, I can't wait for
When
that
you get
day.
to marry.
Hallelujah.
Amen, amen, amen. And so,
Yes.
how was it being a Christian in Njiiri school?
So I joined Njiiri when I was born again. I got born again in class 7. Like that was around 2008. So at least I had some Christian basis. Uh, of course, a young person who just knows that this is right, this is wrong. So you just there, you are not doing the right thing, but you are not fully grown into Christianity. So, of course, with the combination of the advices that you get, so when joining high school, you know those advices. So at least it was easier for me. And for me, I'm easily not swayed by crowds. Before I get convinced by something, then that something has gotten into me, kabisa. So I did not find really a big challenge with that.
And so, did you ever become a CEO official?
No, in high school, no. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I think it's unfortunately, my mom, when I was in primary school, she used to say that in case she gets that I have been made a prefect or any leader, she's just going to go to school, and then she makes sure that I step down, because she is convinced that if you are a leader, if you are in games, if you are in any co-curricular activities, then you are not going to study. So I went with the same mentality, but I was not a CEO leader, CEO official. But I was at least a member, a strong member. If there were prayers, I could go. For the Sunday services, I used to be pale mbele, the front line. You see, not the backbenchers. The backbenchers used to be those who used to sleep. Yeah, so I used to be just okay, not a leader, but just okay. But I was associating a lot with the leaders. Actually, one of the chairmen was my village mate, so I iko na zile entanglements na CEO official. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm.
And so, since you're mentioning your village so much, can you tell us the name of your village so that we can get over with it?
Oh, my village is a very interior village. It's called Mahuria. So I'm sure if you Google, you'll not find it, but it's just there. Mahali, it's a village within another village within another village. It's just so interior. Yeah, so Mahuria, even the name itself.
That's very nice. Even me, when I was in secondary, I was never made a CU official, but I was that active member, always there for prayers, meetings, things like that. And that for us, it was the patron who was selecting the leaders, and the patron never knew me. So I was just, if it was students who are selecting leaders, CU official, I could be among them. But I was seeing
Yes.
patron, and I was just chinyamaji.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so now being in Njiiri school, in that very much, it was academic oriented school. How did you feel? Did you feel as if it's gonna make you achieve your dreams, or did you feel as if you're gonna be pressured into studying and into like studying very much?
Uh, Ever since class 6, I think I can describe myself as a bookworm. So, and I knew the agenda was academics. So, and our principal by then, who used again, I think used to be your principal at one time. What was his name? His name is Mr. Giduka. Yes, used to call him Zooks. Yeah, he was a very serious man. I think he never used to sleep, by the way. He used to encourage a lot of reading. He even could provide coffee during the night. So I never felt so much pressured. Actually, I remember most of my times I used to wake up at 3, sleep at 12, just reading, just doing studies. Yes, and I think one time we became friends with him and everything. Yes, of course. I think basically I never used to feel so much pressure. Yes, on the side of academics, though I struggled kidogo in my form 1, hapo form 2 kidogo pia kwa academics, especially maths kwa inanikalia hapo. So I never used to understand how maths was my best in primary, then all of a sudden things just went haywire.
And
But yeah.
when you failed the exam, were you used to cry? You see someone who was academic oriented when you fail, you're like, no, and that's your
Mm.
worst day.
Yes,
Yeah,
uh,
you may
so I
continue.
never used to that. I never used to be that extreme to cry. Though I remember a friend who used to cry when he failed the exams. He was a rich kid, and but I don't. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to him later on. He just decided. But I never used to cry, but I just used to feel that I need to do more, and that is the worst feeling I have always been fighting all through my life. Feeling that I could have done more, even in other matters apart from academics. Yeah, so that beating myself too much, even if nobody else will notice, then that used to be my problem when I don't do, yes,
Uh,
since actually primary.
Getting to study, are you the person who likes group discussion, or you're the one who likes to read for yourself and do the exam on your own? Yeah, which kind of person
Discussion,
are
no.
you?
Discussion, no, is a no. Even in campus, discussion used to piss me off. Kabisa. I'm that person who just wants to do it myself, to do reading, studying by myself. Um, Discussion has never been part of me. Actually, even in campus, I used to, when even the group was not so active, they would just tell me, "Hey, just do everything, and then we copy from you." So I think discussion is a no. It's a no for me.
Even me, I'm not a discussion kind of person. I remember one time
Mhm,
going on campus, someone is coming to me,
mhm,
tell me, I've seen your classmates are discussing in the dining hall. Even me, I'm like,
mhm.
ah, that's not my class. Those are not my classmates. Even looking at them and seeing them,
Mhm,
I knew definitely
mhm.
those are not from my class. In my class, we just freestyle,
Yes.
we just chill, we
Mhm.
just relax.
Yes. When you feel like reading, you read. When you feel like relaxing, you just there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Being in high school, what was your dream career in that? When you were in high school, what was motivating you to read? Was it just for the good grades, or to do a particular
Mhm.
career, or to just,
Mhm.
what was your reason of working hard in high school?
My reason for working hard in high school, career-wise, was since class 5 or even lower than that to be a pilot. If you come to our house in Ushago, then you would find everything painted, everything written by chalk is Pilot Nicholas. Yeah. So every you see those two board the things called the face boards nyumba. So they just written Pilot Nicholas everywhere. My books pilot. So pilot. That was my dream up to the time I even got my my KCSE results. Yeah, so but yes, pilot. Nothing else could come closer.
When you got to your results, you landed.
Yes.
When you got your results, you landed.
Even that time, by the way, I was still pursuing. The only thing that changed was now from pilot, uh, then to okay, don't know whether it's a downgrade to or something that was easier that could work that time was aeronautical engineering. Yeah, aeronautical engineer is the one who the engineer for who works on the planes. So it was just something close. If it's not planes, then it is planes. Yeah. So at least by that time. mm,
But it's usually a beautiful thing living a life of aiming so high in that when
mm,
you don't attain it, even the place that you shall be is still good. Because what
yes.
makes people like fail totally is because of setting low grades, low targets. And so when you fail
Yes.
to even achieve that low target, medium target, then that you go to your worst. But when you set high target and you know of how much is demanding, of how much is required of you, especially like giving it your
mm,
best, giving it your all, and God is usually like
Yes.
seeing what you're doing. So God ain't gonna make you. God is gonna just take you to the right place, and later on
Mm.
with time, everything is gonna add up to you. And so,
Yeah.
which were your best subjects? You said you love maths, but you were not working out so good. Which subject did you like when you were in high school?
In high school, I think my best subject was English. English because I think I got an award, I think like 2 times in the prize giving day. And unfortunately, English became my worst in KCS results. Then my other favorite was geography. So I think favorite probably because they won me some prizes somewhere along the week. Yeah, both of them.
Are you still having those awards that you're given, or you lost them?
I think one I donated to a relative. I think one I still have it even right now. I think I can see it right now. So it was a flask.
You travel
Yeah,
with it.
I travel with it. At least it reminds me of some. Yeah.
And that's usually a good motivation to students in that whenever you're
Mhm.
working hard, then you get to receive a particular award. It
Mhm.
usually like gets to motivate you very much, and you're usually
Mhm.
looking forward to the next challenge. In
Yeah.
that, what makes someone to fear challenges is you never receiving a reward. But if you live a
Yes.
life of always being rewarded for each and every challenge you face, and you get to obtain a good mark, in that usually
Mhm.
encourages you. You're never afraid when you
Yes.
hear opener, you're never afraid when you hear exams are around the corner. You're usually looking forward to
Mhm.
that subject that you got an award. And so you
Yes.
should always like live to achieve those awards. And so, which is your best memory in high school,
My best memory in high
apart
school.
from
b-
receiving
b-
the
uh,
rewards?
best, okay, best positively. Let me start with best negatively. Because that was, I think that is my greatest memory. There's a time I was really beaten by more than 4 teachers. And the only person who was like to kill me is the only one who saved me, my principal. So it was a funny thing. I think we did not deserve it. We were two of us. What happened is that we had complained of sharing an admission number. So at that time we had one deputy principal, so we complained to him, and then he got transferred. And then the other deputy principal now could not understand how we have stayed for all that time sharing an admission number. And we told him that we had complained about it and it was being worked on, but he insisted that we were supposed to follow it up. And so that was the cause of the action. I think at that time is when I gathered, like, I was beaten so much, caned, like really caned. I have never been caned like that, even in primary school. So I stood and told the teachers that now, before you continue, let me call the principal or you just call him here. So I think that is when now they started bargaining and everything. Yes, and the principal is the one who saved me because at least he had an idea. And at the same time, they thought he would come and increase the intensity and everything. But yes, that is how it happened. So that is the worst. The best memory, positively. Um, okay, maybe the best memory I can say is apart from the awards, maybe that could come after Form 4, after the results, when I received the results. But in school, apart from just the normal events, can't remember really a very good one. Apart from the first time, maybe I got a high mark in maths, more than I have ever gotten. And I think in Form 2, that was 68%. I had really struggled to get to 60%. So not Form 2, that was in Form 4. Indexing exam is the one that I got the highest grade in mathematics. The first exam in Form 4, I had a 68%. That was amazing for me, I think. And from that time, I
Yeah,
never used to
that's
score.
awesome. And also,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure like the God of your high school, your home church has had a lot to contribute to your high school life. In that you're committed to church, about your the head of your agencies, something like that, and that they had a role to play when it came to your high school life. Can you share it more?
Yes. Mm. Yes, sorry.
Or can you share more on your commitment to church of how it helped you in high school life?
To church in back at home when I was in high
Yeah.
school, or
Back at home.
mm. Okay, I think it was an exposure for me in high school. So every small knowledge I got, I used to transfer it, especially to my youth group in church. So I used to at least, for lack of a better words, to kuwachanua after nimechanuliwa huko, because now it's a village, so they don't know so much, and we never used to be exposed so much again. So I used to just use it, the exposure, especially I can see the exposure, and maybe for the memory, I think the exposure was my best memory. Yeah, I can say that. So I used to use the exposure at least to wachangamsha my youth group. Yeah, that was really something.
And when you are doing that, motivating them from what you learned in high school, you usually felt
Mhm.
as if you're the guy. The guy with ideas, you're the guy with knowledge.
Not really. Actually, there was that problem, and I think, the person who was trying to solve it, from because our youth group at that time was splitting. Reason being, the people who used to who used to come from boarding school used to find themselves so special, and so now they could just come and form a clique, a group of people who like are looking down upon the rest, maybe in day school or something. And so by God's grace, I realized there was that gap. And so I think I was one person who was spearheading and addressing that issue. And at least we did not manage so much, especially with our sisters there, with our the ladies in our group. I think they used to be more extreme. But yes, I noticed the challenge, and I took it upon myself to try and solve it, to try and show these others that it should not be something to split us. So at least I was not in the side that, yeah, despising.
Yeah, and that's a really important thing for us
Mm.
whenever go back to those of who are part of us, that we should never like cause division, but we should always
Mm.
like create that unity. Doesn't matter which school you've gone to, doesn't matter who your parents are, doesn't matter how well off you are, that we should always like being united, because that's the essence of the body of Christ. Christ is the head of the church, and we are the body. And the body has
Yes.
usually the hands has need for the legs, the legs have needs for the eyes, and that we are connected
Mm.
when we come together. And also apply it the
Yes.
way or whatever you learned in your high school in the Christian. You used to like take it to your home so that you can be able to grow spiritually together. So that's also another thing. And that the reason why any one of us are expected to grow in Christian work is so that we can help those of whom are weak, so that we can be able
Yes.
to like create unity wherever there is unity. It's,
It's true.
uh, did you get to go for any camp in high school?
Camping, no. Camping, no. Principal used to be academics, kuenda. from first day. Actually, the threat used to start from the time we got into school. So after maybe what is it called? Midterm holiday, midterm break or new term. So from the moment you step into the gate, preps. Kabisa, yes. But
And
maybe
so
zile funkies. Mhm.
the funkies the ones for coming to the schools. Anyway,
Sorry?
now
Yes. Mhm.
for you being someone who's conserved or someone who's like creating chaos in that
Mhm.
you see as yourself too, or you wish that you had other personalities, just personality. In that, can you encourage
Mhm.
someone who has personalities like you in
Mhm.
living like in continuing on with that personality, or you recommend them to have other personalities over that?
Uh, yes and no. One, I think I usually say that my personality was not like that before class 6, but circumstances of life just made me who maybe they made me to have the personality that I currently have. I think I was an extrovert, like naturally, but now circumstances, those personalities that you just get because of circumstances. So yes, no, okay, no, I can't complain that I had those, I had that personality because there's really most of the things you cannot change. And I cannot, if you realize your personality, it's not really good to try fighting nature. On the other hand, about changing, it's not about advising somebody to change their personality. It's not about really advising them to change, but really actually advising them to know their personality and just live with it and live with all the perspectives about it. So like know how to handle life with their personalities, know how to handle people, how to handle circumstances and all that.
That's really nice.
Mm,
For me personally, I like the personality, in that your
mhm.
personality is one that can blend and in that you can penetrate. You know, whereas people may be fighting, but you're just there
Yes,
passing through peacefully. You don't argument,
yes,
reaching for what you want to reach for. And also
yes.
another thing about personality is for that our uniqueness is surely very important, and that it's how God wired us, it's how God got to configure us, because it
Mhm,
was of it's usually linked up to our purpose, to our destiny, who we are going to be. But when you start like interfering with what you're meant to be and who you're meant to
mhm,
be, that is gonna keep you from achieving your dreams and ambition. You're gonna find
mhm.
yourself pursuing other people's ambition and dreams. And so for those of you
It's
like
true.
don't speak much, you should like just listen to
Mhm,
people. And that thick at it,
mhm.
Nicholas was bookworm, kept on reading, and that's a healthy habit. You see, as in the key to it's all about how will I live for long, how will I
Yes.
continue on staying alive. In that
Mhm,
when you interfere, in that you may end up dead quite very soon. And death doesn't mean physically dying, but yourself disconnecting from things that you are meant to connect to. And so that should be about death. And also
yes.
some people surely are liked and loved because of who they are, not of who they think themselves to be. And that someone
Mhm.
called love you for you. So Nicholas, tell us about your love life when it was in high school.
Oh, wow, that's a it was like my love life. Wow. It was like a taboo from the village. Again, the exposure
You're
was
still
not
laughing,
that too much. Yes.
or you're still there.
I have never been into any relationship. I was just that. Maybe I was afraid, or maybe I'm still afraid. Yes. So I've never been like, it's just really, you just feel
We can
attracted, but
hear you, we
then
can see.
mm, Yes, so it's just that one that you feel attracted, but then you understand that.
Can you start your video?
Yes,
Or is it working?
it is working.
I can't see your video.
You can't see.
But you can continue speaking, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so yes, that was it. I never was in a. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mm.
Just tell us that story as you come to a close.
Yes, so yes, I was not in a relationship that time, nor even at this time. Yes, it was just that simple. I think I used to be a shy kind of a person, and I used to fear like breakups and everything. So hapana, sikuwa.
So it is that short story.
For high school, it's that short.
Nicholas.
Yes.
It is that short story.
Yes. The high school.
So I don't know, there's kind of disconnection, but it has
Okay.
been an awesome session. Thank you, Nicholas, for your time.
Okay. Thank you for hosting me. I can't wait for the campus. God of my campus.
Yeah, so
that one is awesome.
And so now it's still until next time.
Yes.
I'm gonna post you again about God of my campus.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a blessed night.
God bless. You too. God bless.
Nicholas, have a blessed night.
You too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I've just said it. I think you don't have a connection.
And so good night.
Good night.